have you come across a beat in like the time you've been producing all this shit that you thought? Because I mean, I know producers do this. They hear an MC on it. They hear a voice on it. How many?
For who?
For M.
A couple times I did, and there was some stuff that almost stuck, and then we kind of got threw ideas around, and it maybe didn't make it. But usually I do that once I start making a project for somebody. So like if I'm working with a particular, on an average day, like I probably will still make beats for Prodigy if anybody. Like I'll hear his voice sometimes to this day still. I'll make a beat and be like, oh man, P would. Because I knew our average was like 90% once I would pick a beat. I think he would like it. Towards the end, it was like, so that. But otherwise, I'll think of random people, I guess, when I'm making beats sometimes. Because, you got to consider the voice. Yeah. So you don't want to make the beat too musical or too expressive because you want to leave it open for an MC. But once I start making a project, like if I'm in with Freddie or somebody like that or an artist that I'm like, working on a whole, then as I'm making beats those next days, I'll be having their flow in mind or like, okay, this is going to work for them. I know this. And then you really start making better stuff when you do that because you're getting a little more specific. Because for me, I make beats like every day, damn near. Like I'll pretty much do something every day, Right. I have the craft of just beat making.
Doing something.
Even if I'm not working on a project, I'm making beats. This will get used for something else. Yeah. It's like layups, you're going to.
You love to do it.
Yeah, but it was funny. I was talking to Premier before, and he really doesn't just make beats randomly like that. Literally, it speaks to how legendary he is. Like he's been in demand his entire career that he never had time to just sit up and make a batch. So every beat you pretty much heard, he could tell you better, but most of the beats you've heard from him were like specifically for that person made, or that a person didn't like it. Yeah. And then he played it for one other person later. And
wow. Yeah, he tailor makes the beat.
Because there's no idle time. That's how I looked at it.
Order. Yeah.
Like, but his whole career, they've always needed beats from him.
And his last project with Nas is dope, and it really worked really well, too.
How much does it
drop?
Does one of his beats cost? Do you know?
It's priceless.
It's priceless. Yeah. If you got the budget, you do it.
Yeah. That's what
right answer. If you ain't got the budget, then hey, sorry.
I'm sure it changes depending on who you are, what the project is,
But Premier was always like a rite of passage type of thing, like for MCs. Like if I get a Premier beat, that signified something. Like I have, the greats, and
or if he called you to be on something, that was Premier, also something.
It meant something, I feel, and even like that's one thing I got inspired from him. Of course, his beat, how he made beats. I mean, nobody can copy what he does, but I definitely got inspired by that. Of him being the type of producer that was like rite of passage, or if you see his name on a tape, you're like, I got to hear that one.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be that type of producer. I could never be Premier. Yeah. No one can be Premier. But I always looked at it like I want to be the type of producer where if you see the name, you'd be like, I got to check that one. That might be something special.
Oh, you are that.
That was always my goal. I told him that. I told him that was the most I got from him.
Yeah.
I mean, I got so much from him, but that was one of them things. It was like, damn.